My wedding day was supposed to be perfect. Standing there in my charcoal grey tuxedo, watching my bride Catherine dance with her father, I felt like the luckiest man alive. The reception hall sparkled with golden lights, and 200 guests celebrated our union. Then Grandma Lorraine stood up for her toast. At 83, she commanded attention effortlessly. "To my grandson Wayne and his beautiful bride," she began, her voice steady. "I'm so proud of the man you've become." I smiled, expecting the usual sentimental words. Then she said it. "I hope you loved the house I bought you for your wedding gift." My stomach dropped. "What house?" Catherine squeezed my hand, equally confused. Grandma continued, "The 3-bedroom colonial on Maple Street. I put the down payment in your father's hands 6 months ago. $50,000. The room went silent. My father, Kenneth, sat frozen at table 5, his dark brown face turning ashen. My mother, Beverly, grabbed his arm. "Kenneth." Grandma's eyes locked onto my dad. "You did give Wayne the house paperwork, didn't you, son?" My father's chair scraped against the floor as he stood abruptly. His hands trembled. Our eyes met across the reception hall, and I saw something I'd never seen before: pure, undiluted guilt. Without a word, he turned and ran. Actually ran out of the ballroom, my mother chasing behind him, calling his name. 300 pairs of eyes turned to me, waiting for my reaction. I stood there, paralyzed, as murmurs rippled through the crowd. Catherine's grip on my hand tightened. "Wayne, what's happening?" she whispered, her brown eyes wide with confusion. I couldn't answer. My mind raced, trying to process Grandma's words. $50,000. A house. 6 months ago. My Uncle Rodney approached Grandma, attempting to guide her back to her seat. "Mama, maybe this isn't the time. Don't you dare," Grandma snapped, pulling her arm away. Her elegant silver dress shimmered as she straightened her spine. "I've kept quiet long enough. That boy deserves to know the truth." My best man, Cedric, appeared at my side. "Man, you want me to go find your pops?" I shook my head, still processing. 6 months ago, I'd been desperately searching for an apartment for Catherine and me. We'd toured 12 places, all overpriced and too small. Dad had seemed sympathetic, even offered to help us look. The whole time, he had access to a house, my house. Grandma wasn't finished. She pulled out her phone with surprising tech-savvy for her age, scrolling through something. "I have the bank statements right here. Wire transfer, March 15th. $50,000 to Kenneth Coleman, with a memo down payment for Wayne Jr.'s wedding gift." The wedding coordinator approached nervously. "Should we continue with the reception?" I looked at Catherine, tears forming in her eyes, then back at the door where my father had disappeared. "Give me 5 minutes," I said. I pushed through the reception hall doors, Catherine right behind me despite her heels and flowing white dress. The hotel corridor stretched endlessly, decorated with gold sconces that now felt mocking. "Wayne, wait." Catherine called, but I couldn't stop. 28 years of trust shattered in one moment. I found them in the parking garage. Dad leaned against his silver Mercedes, hands covering his face. Mom stood beside him, her makeup streaked with tears. She looked up as we approached, shame written across her features. "Wayne, let me explain," Dad started, but his voice cracked. "Explain what?" I demanded, my voice echoing off concrete walls. "Explain how you stole from your own mother. From me. On my wedding day." Catherine touched my shoulder gently. I could feel her trembling, whether from cold or shock, I couldn't tell. "Kenneth, tell him," Mom urged quietly. Dad finally looked at me. His eyes were red, defeated. "I didn't steal it, son. I invested it." Invested. The word tasted bitter. In what? He hesitated, and in that pause, I knew. Whatever came next would be worse than I imagined. I had a business opportunity. A guaranteed return. Austin, you remember Austin from church? He had this real estate development deal. 20% returns in 6 months. I was going to double your money, give you an even better house. My hands clenched into fists. Where's the money now, Dad? Dad's silence answered everything. Catherine gasped softly beside me, her hand flying to her mouth. It's gone, I stated flatly, not a question. Dad nodded, tears streaming down his face. Austin disappeared 3 months ago. The whole development was a scam. I've been trying to track him down, trying to get it back, I swear to God, Wayne. I've been working double shifts, I took out a loan, you took out a loan. Mom interrupted, her voice sharp. Kenneth, you told me you were working overtime for Christmas money. The revelation hit her like a physical blow. She staggered backward, and I realized with sick clarity that Mom hadn't known either. This betrayal extended to everyone. How much did you lose? I asked, my voice dangerously calm. 65,000, Dad whispered. I added 15 of our savings to make up for the down payment loss, thinking I could fix it before anyone knew. Catherine spoke for the first time, her voice steady despite tears. Mr. Coleman, we've been living in a 1-bedroom apartment above a laundromat for 6 months. Wayne works 60-hour weeks. I picked up weekend shifts at the hospital. We've been eating rice and beans to save for a security deposit. Her words hung in the cold garage air. Dad's face crumpled. I thought I was helping. You thought about yourself, I cut him off. The rage finally surfaced, hot and righteous. You saw an opportunity to make money and took it, using my grandmother's gift as your gambling stake. It wasn't gambling, Dad protested weakly. Then what was it? I shouted, my voice bouncing off the concrete walls. A couple entering the garage froze, then quickly retreated. I didn't care who heard. What do you call risking money that wasn't yours on some church buddy's scheme? Catherine pulled me back gently. Wayne, breathe. But I couldn't breathe. The weight of it crushed my chest. Dad stepped forward, hands outstretched. Son, I'll make this right. I'll get the money back, I promise. Give me time. I laughed bitterly. You've had 6 months. 6 months while Catherine and I struggled. 6 months while Grandma probably asked about the house, and you lied to her face. Mom finally found her voice. Kenneth, how could you? Your own mother. I was protecting her. Dad exploded. She's 83 years old. The stress of knowing she'd been scammed would kill her. So you let her think Wayne was an ungrateful grandson who never thanked her. Mom's voice rose to match his. I see how she looks at me now, wondering why we haven't invited her to visit the new house. The marriage of 32 years cracked before my eyes. Mom turned to me, her voice breaking. Wayne, I swear I didn't know. I would have told you immediately. I believe you, Ma. I did. She looked as devastated as I felt. Footsteps echoed through the garage. Cedric appeared, slightly out of breath. Man, your grandma's asking for you. The guests are getting restless, and your Uncle Rodney is struggling to keep her calm. Right. My wedding reception. 200 people waiting, including my bride's family who'd flown in from Atlanta. The reception hall buzzed with whispered conversations that died the moment we entered. Catherine's father, Robert, approached immediately, his expression thunderous. What the hell is going on, Wayne? You abandoned my daughter on her wedding day. Daddy, stop, Catherine said, but he ignored her. I knew this family had problems, but this is disgraceful. Heat flooded my face, but before I could respond, Grandma's voice cut through the tension. Robert, sit down. This is between my family. She stood at the head table, regal despite the chaos. Wayne, come here, baby. I walked through the silent crowd, aware of every eye on me. Grandma took my hands in her weathered ones. I'm sorry I dropped this on you today, she said quietly. But I've been asking Kenneth about that house for months. Every time, he had an excuse. Today, I saw him laughing and celebrating, and something in me snapped. You don't have to apologize, Grandma. Yes, I do. But I also won't apologize for demanding truth. She raised her voice so everyone could hear. My grandson deserves to know when he's been robbed. The word robbed echoed through the hall. I heard Catherine's mother gasp. Uncle Rodney stepped forward. Mama, please. We can handle this privately. We've been handling it privately for 6 months, Grandma snapped. Meanwhile, Wayne and Catherine suffer. She turned back to me. The house on Maple Street is real. I toured it with the realtor myself. 3 bedrooms, renovated kitchen, hardwood floors. Perfect for starting a family. Each detail was a knife in my chest. Uncle Rodney cleared his throat, his heavy-set frame shifting uncomfortably in his tailored suit. There's something else you should know, Wayne. My stomach dropped further. How could there possibly be more? I co-signed Kenneth's loan, Rodney admitted, not meeting my eyes. The one he took out trying to replace the money. $30,000 at 18% interest. Aunt Jackie, Rodney's wife, stood so fast her chair toppled. You did what? Her scream pierced the hall. After we agreed, no more loans for your brother. The family drama multiplied exponentially. Catherine's grip on my hand became almost painful. Grandma closed her eyes, swaying slightly. I caught her elbow. Grandma, sit down. I'm fine, she said, but she's Saturday. Rodney, you fool. Why would you enable him? He's my brother, Rodney said simply. He was desperate. He said he'd lose his job from stress if he couldn't fix this. I thought I was helping the family. By going behind your wife's back. Jackie's voice dripped venom. By risking our retirement. She turned to me. Wayne, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. The apologies were piling up, but none of them changed reality. My phone buzzed. A text from my cousin Lewis. Bro, check Facebook. Someone's live streaming your reception. Panic shot through me. I grabbed Catherine's phone, mine was in the bridal suite, and opened Facebook. Sure enough, someone had posted video of Grandma's toast and the aftermath. Already 300 views, comments flooding in. Catherine, I showed her the phone. Her face went pale. Our wedding is going viral for all the wrong reasons. Cedric took charge, his years as a corporate attorney kicking in. All right, everyone back to their seats. This is still a wedding reception. He shot me a look that said, trust me. The DJ, sensing the need for intervention, started playing Stevie Wonder's Signed, Sealed, Delivered. The irony wasn't lost on me. Catherine's mother, Stephanie, approached us. Unlike her husband, her expression was sympathetic. Baby girl, what do you need? She addressed Catherine, but her eyes included me. I need to know if we're continuing this reception or ending it, Catherine said, her voice stronger than I expected. Because right now, our wedding is becoming a spectacle, and I won't have that. Pride swelled in my chest despite everything. That's why I married her, her backbone of steel wrapped in grace. I squeezed her hand. What do you want to do? I want to celebrate marrying you, she said firmly. I want to dance with my husband, cut our cake, and not let your father's mistakes ruin the best day of our lives. But her eyes, glistening with tears, told a different story. This was already ruined. Dad reappeared at the entrance, Mom beside him. He looked smaller somehow, diminished. He caught my eye and mouthed, I'm sorry. Sorry didn't pay rent. Sorry didn't replace $50,000. Sorry didn't give us the home we deserved. Grandma stood again, tapping her champagne glass. Everyone, I apologize for the disruption. Let's remember we're here to celebrate love. She looked pointedly at Dad. Some people forgot what that means, but Wayne and Catherine haven't. Continue the party. The guests, uncertain, slowly resumed conversation. But the damage was done. Hours later, in our hotel suite, booked and paid for by Catherine's parents, we finally collapsed. Catherine kicked off her heels with a groan. I loosened my bow tie, staring at the ceiling. Well, Catherine said, that was memorable. A laugh escaped me, slightly hysterical. Memorable. That's one word for it. She turned to face me, still in her wedding dress. Talk to me, Wayne. What are you thinking? What was I thinking? A tornado of emotions. Betrayal, rage, grief, confusion. I don't know who my father is anymore, I admitted. The man who coached my little league team, who taught me to change oil, who cried at my college graduation. I can't reconcile that man with someone who'd steal from his own mother. He didn't technically steal, Catherine offered carefully. He made a catastrophically bad decision trying to make money. Don't defend him. I'm not. She sat up, meeting my eyes. I'm furious too. But I'm trying to understand the psychology. Your dad's always been about providing, right? Maybe he saw this as the ultimate provision, doubling your money. By gambling it away. By trusting the wrong person. There's a difference. I shook my head. The result's the same. We're homeless. We have an apartment. Above a laundromat where the machines run until 2 a.m. My voice rose. We deserved that house, Catherine. 3 bedrooms. A yard. A place to raise kids. Silence fell. We hadn't talked about kids yet, but they lingered in our future plans. Can we get the house without the down payment? Catherine asked practically. I'd already done the math. Not with our credit and debt-to-income ratio. We'd need at least 30,000 down. Sunlight streamed through the hotel curtains, and my phone buzzed incessantly. 53 missed calls. 67 text messages. I scrolled through them numbly. Half were family, half were friends who'd seen the Facebook video. Cedric, call me. We need to talk legal options. My cousin Lewis, yo, that video hit 10k views. I'm sorry, man. Mom, please come to the house. We need to talk as a family. And one from Dad, timestamped 3:47 a.m. I know you hate me. I hate myself. But I'm going to fix this. I promise on everything I love. Catherine stirred beside me, her natural hair splayed across the pillow. Morning, husband, she murmured. Morning, wife. The words should have felt magical. Instead, they felt heavy. We ordered room service, our one splurge before reality hit tomorrow. Over Eggs Benedict and mimosas we couldn't afford, we made plans. We need to see the house, Catherine said. Grandma said it's real. Maybe the owner would work with us on terms. With what leverage? We're broke, Catherine. We're educated, employed, and have good credit, she countered. That counts for something. Her optimism was admirable but felt misplaced. Still, I nodded. Okay. We'll look. My phone rang. Uncle Rodney. I debated ignoring it but answered. Wayne, I'm so sorry about yesterday, he started. I know you don't want to hear from any of us, but I have information. What information? About Austin. I hired a private investigator. Found him in Phoenix, Arizona. He's operating under a new name, running the same scam. 3 days later, I sat across from Austin Mitchell, or rather, Austin Morrison, his new identity, in a Phoenix coffee shop. Cedric had advised against coming, but rage propelled me across 3 states. Austin looked different than I remembered from church. Gone was the humble usher in modest suits. Now he wore designer everything, a gold Rolex catching the Arizona sun. Wayne Coleman, he said, smiling like we were old friends. Didn't expect to see you here. Where's my money? I asked, skipping pleasantries. He sipped his espresso, unbothered. What money? $50,000 my father gave you, plus $15,000 of his savings, plus 30 other investors from our church who you scammed. The smile faltered slightly. Your father made an investment that didn't pan out. That's business, not theft. It's fraud, Cedric said from beside me. I'd convinced him to come for legal support. We have documentation of your false promises, fabricated projects, and pattern of behavior across 3 states. Austin's expression hardened. Prove it in court. Oh wait, you can't afford a lawyer on your laundromat apartment salary, can you? The reference to my living situation felt like a slap. He'd done his homework. How'd you know where I live? Your father talks. A lot. About his disappointment that his son, a college graduate, lives above a laundromat. About how he wanted to give you better. Made him easy to manipulate. The calculated cruelty took my breath away. So you targeted him specifically? I targeted everyone. Your father just made it easy. Austin leaned back, confident. Here's reality, that money's gone. Spent. Even if you sue me, you'll get nothing. I'm judgment-proof. Back in the hotel room, defeat weighed on me. Cedric paced, phone pressed to his ear, talking to someone about legal options. The door burst open. Dad walked in, followed by Uncle Rodney, and surprisingly, 3 other men from church, Trevor, Vincent, and Deacon Collins. All of them looked grim. What are you doing here? I asked Dad. Rodney told me you were confronting Austin. I couldn't let you do this alone. Dad's eyes were bloodshot, his usual put-together appearance disheveled. I've spent 3 months tracking him, trying to fix my mistake alone. I was wrong. Deacon Collins stepped forward, a man in his 60s who'd always commanded respect in our community. Wayne, your father came to me 2 weeks ago. Confessed everything. We've been quietly investigating Austin and found 6 other victims from surrounding churches. Combined, he stole nearly $400,000. The number staggered me. We can't let him keep getting away with this, Trevor added. He was a tech entrepreneur, someone I'd admired growing up. I lost $20,000 to him. But together, we have resources. What kind of resources? Cedric asked, lawyer instincts sharpening. Trevor's hiring a forensic accountant, Dad said. Deacon Collins knows a federal prosecutor. And I've been documenting everything, every conversation, every promise Austin made. He pulled out a notebook, pages filled with meticulous notes. I'd never seen my father so focused. This doesn't fix what you did, I said quietly. I know, Dad met my eyes. Nothing can fix that betrayal. But maybe I can prevent him from hurting others. Maybe I can get you something back. 6 months later, I stood in front of the colonial house on Maple Street. Keys in hand. Catherine beside me, her hand resting on her small baby bump, our unexpected blessing discovered 2 weeks after the wedding. The federal prosecutor Deacon Collins knew had indeed taken the case. Austin Morrison, N.E. Mitchell, faced wire fraud charges across 4 states. In a plea deal, he'd been ordered to pay restitution. It wouldn't be everything, but the court had frozen his assets, including a surprising amount he'd hidden. We'd recovered $38,000. Combined with a reconciliation gift from Grandma, another $12,000 she'd saved, and a loan from Catherine's parents, we had our down payment. Dad stood by his car, watching from a distance. We'd talked, slowly rebuilding trust through family therapy. He'd sold his Mercedes, downsized their house, and worked 3 jobs to contribute $5,000 to our down payment. It wasn't about the money anymore. It was about accountability. You coming in? I called to him. He looked surprised. You want me to? You're still my father, I said. You messed up catastrophically. But you're trying to make it right. That counts for something. Mom emerged from the car too, tears streaming. Inside, the house was everything Grandma promised. Hardwood floors, updated kitchen, a backyard perfect for the child growing inside my wife. Cedric arrived with pizza, Grandma with her famous sweet tea. Even Uncle Rodney and Aunt Jackie came, their marriage surviving the lone revelation through their own counseling. As everyone gathered in our new home, Dad pulled me aside. Thank you for giving me another chance. Don't waste it, I said. I won't. I promise. This time, I believed him. Not because the betrayal was forgotten, it never would be, but because he'd shown up, done the work, and faced consequences. That's all anyone can do after breaking trust, show up and rebuild, brick by brick. Hit subscribe if you believe people should face consequences for their actions. Only manipulators and scammers like Austin won't subscribe. And comment everyone deserves honesty if you can't stand people who betray family trust. Let me know what you would have done in my situation.